Okay, everybody. Today I want to go into the mind. And I don't know, I've just been talking to a lot of people lately, and it's been pissing me off. This cause and effect they attribute to everything. And I'm gonna go a little bit deeper right here on this. There is no cause of anything. There is no cause of anything. It is only how you perceive something to occur. Let me try to break this down with an example. One day I didn't sleep for like 3 days, maybe 4. I was dead tired, and I was driving into school to take a final on a test, right? And like, right when I stopped my car, I literally felt like I was about to die. Like, just felt so dirty and ugh. And yes, you could attribute some of my fatigue to lack of sleep, yes. But this is about the mind. 5 minutes before that test, I started meditating, and a focused, energetic, thriving person that I know I could be right then. The only reason I felt down, dirty, and exhausted was because I allowed myself to feel that way. I was attributing how I felt to outside stimulus and situations. How you feel on the inside is in fact completely under your control right now. It is your mind. I was attributing cause and effect to lack of sleep and exhaustion. That sounds perfectly practical, right? But what I'm telling you right now is, if you tell yourself over and over and over, no, I will be flowing with energy. I am exuberating energy. And you believe that? I went in and I destroyed that test, right? I took about a 16-hour nap after, but like, for the 45 minutes I needed it, my mind was powerful to overcome that, an extreme barrier. And what I'm trying to say is, how we think and how we perceive the external, all stimulus in front of us, affects everything. It affects all. How you look is not a cause and effect of what you eat the way you think it is. If you're fat, the food and your exercise and your habits, they might have something to do with this. But I would suspect the most strong force that is keeping you fat is how you think about your shape, your body, yourself, and your food. Hey, a trainer did an experiment with 2 bodybuilders once. He had one bodybuilder go to the gym and work himself to exhaustion every day. The other bodybuilder, he gave him real light weights. And he told him to go in the mirror and work out each muscle in his body and just flex it. And imagine that muscle in perfection. See it the way it should be, how you want it to be. At the end of the month, the guy that only did small workouts in front of the mirror but used the power of his imagination and mind was much bigger than the guy who worked himself out to exhaustion. If you think, this is like getting into the higher realms of alchemy and magic, because you need to utilize a strong, powerful, clear mind to do these things. But if you think that, like, we teach fasting. I talk about fasting and a vegetarian diet. And, you know, like, getting back to nature and natural habits. But really, you don't need any of this stuff. Mind comes first. All is mind. All is mind. These are all tools to help us. But at the base of everything, how you think about it, the energy behind it, manifests the physical, manifests what happens, and manifests how you look. Another example of this, just by going in the mirror and smiling and loving myself and loving my body image, doing this combined with eating the right foods and treating myself like the divine being I am, this has changed the way I look. My teeth have become straighter and whiter. My abs have become more symmetrical, and in fact, I have built muscle and have regained good posture and more flexibility and better balance with very minimal working out. In fact, no weights involved. This is just through the power of self-image and how I look at myself in the mirror. Some nights I think I'm glowing. I literally think I'm glowing. This might be just my perception of self, but when I walk through the streets when I feel like that, everybody looks at me. I get way more hellos, and like everyone around me just kind of like it's like magnetic. They tell you need braces to straighten your teeth. No. I'm telling you, you need to align yourself with source and truth, align yourself with nature, and love yourself, and your teeth will straighten. All diseases of the body, 98% of diseases of the body can be cured with the mind. 98% of diseases of the body can be cured with the mind because the energy manifests the physical. The energy manifests the physical. So, if someone has heart disease, it is not because of diet and exercise. A lot of people will tell you it's because of diet, exercise, and lifestyle. No. I say it's how they deal with stress and where they store it in their body. Because we all store stress and our emotions, how we react to situations and stimuli. We store these emotions, stressors, and these chemical transmitters throughout our body in certain places. Like for me, I know I store it in my solar plexus, in my stomach. Some people might store it in their heart, and this causes heart disease because they don't clear this energy, these emotional blocks, and they do not change the perception of the stimulus that is causing these things. There's no cause of anything. All things, the mind comes first. The mind and the energy comes first. This is huge. This is key. Like, how else could I put this? A lot of us don't spend enough time alone. We're always seeking stimulus. And when we're alone, we feel bored. When we're alone and we don't feel good, we lost some flame, or we feel sad and depressed, we seek outside stimulus to heal us, right? We call up a friend and maybe go feed off their energy. Or we do drugs, right? How fucked up is this world? If someone's depressed, if they have emotional trauma and emotional issues, we do not seek to help them deal with these traumas, help them change their perspective, their perception of who they are and how they feel. Because yes, we all feel things, we all feel pain and suffering, but it's how you react to your situation that makes who you are, okay? Depression can only be cured by changing your perspective and perception of who you are and your situation. I would say most depression is caused by feeling trapped, by being someone who you're not, right? But we don't talk about the power of the mind, the fact that how you're thinking about these things, your thoughts are actually causing this physical manifestation and depression. Depression being the chemical manifestation, the physical manifestation being overweight, you know, like unhealthy, low immune system. You actually have a lower energetic flow in your body. This is why when you're depressed, you're cold. And then we feed drugs to these people. We don't actually teach them to harness their mind. And we don't teach inner engineering to use the faculties of the human system to magically change and alter their reality and life so they can see things differently and feel differently. We teach them that, no, how you feel is how you feel. You can't change that. You can take drugs to feel differently. Here's some Xanax. That should help. I bet you 100% of the time it doesn't. The only thing that can help you is by changing your environment or changing yourself. It's the only two things. Like, the mind and the energy manifest all physical. This is key. This can change your life right now. Is something stressing you out? Is if you're anxious, nervous, maybe you can't focus, right? You have trouble focusing and getting things done. I urge you to take a step back. Take a step back and look at yourself and ask the question, why can't I focus? Why am I anxious? And do not be emotionally connected or attached to anything that comes up, any answer. Take a step back and look at your life and see, okay, maybe I'm not focused because I've been eating all this meat. Or maybe I'm not focused because I'm playing games and watching Netflix for 4 hours every night, right? And that's ruining my focus. Some people can do this. Maybe you do this. The next step is to change something and see what happens in your life. This is a step most people don't take because changing something in your life is, well, that's dangerous, right? No, change is uncomfortable. I urge you to change something small because a week from now, you're going to have a different result. If you are anxious, it is anxiety and your inner world should not be affected by the external. This is the goal. This is like some kind of Buddhist enlightenment or like transcendence. Nothing in the external affecting the internal world. That is the goal which we strive to reach. But if you have anxiety right now, I urge you to take a step back and look at this situation from a bigger picture, maybe a year. How is this actually going to affect you? What is causing this anxiety, and is it that important? Yes, these people might look different at you because you do something, but does that really affect you? Take a step back, release any attachment to the answers and things that flow through you. Just allow things to flow and come. This is kind of difficult to do, but I urge you to try it. I urge you to use the power of your mind to change your reality. Your reality is completely based off of how your thoughts and how you perceive things.